Hi, everybody. You're probably expecting the Prince of Real Estate and Aurora and Cinderella from my team, but I wanted to say hello and welcome you to the Near Disney YouTube channel. Well, my name is Kim Hawk. I am here in the Near Disney YouTube studio located in Celebration, Florida. And I wanted to give my team a night off. They have been working so hard. And I know tonight we've been saying if there's any questions real estate wise, that we wanted to come on here live and talk about all things within a 25-mile radius around Cinderella Castle. So if we haven't met, I have been a realtor for about 3 decades now, and I'm very proud of my team, Florida Motion Realty. And like I said, I'm here to answer any of your questions that you might have. Like I said, they've been out showing property, had a wonderful closing today with some 2 families we represented. We were on the buyer and the seller side and got that closed. And I can tell you it's hot outside. It's hot. It's really hot outside. So as I'm waiting for people to come online, I'm starting to see people say hello. Yes, hello, everyone. I'm going to go over just a couple of little things. It's wonderful. Elijah had still forwarded some information to me because he was sharing some of the stuff that you guys like to have info on. So let's do that. Let's share this. Here we go. Okay, so let us share this. Let me show this to you. Okay, so if you happen to know anything about Celebration, Florida, the town that Disney built, this Sunday, May 25th, which is also Elijah's birthday, by the way, from our team, it is the 25th anniversary of the Town Tavern, the Celebration Town Tavern, and you are invited. You are invited. I think this is really cool. The Bonas and the Woolley family that own the Town Tavern are throwing a party, and you're invited. It's from 2 p.m. to 5:25 p.m. this Sunday, May 25th, 2025. And they're going to have food and drinks while supplies last. Games are going to be out on the streets in celebration. Music, I think that it's going to be a great time. There's going to be a silent auction where they're raising money for Celebration High School athletics and also the K through 8 PTSA. Now, what is also very cool is that at 5:25 p.m. on 5/25, the Celebration Town Tavern is providing a beautiful fountain that's going to go in the downtown lake. And it's quite large, it's beautiful, and it is a gift to the town. And it says, as a heartfelt thank you for the 25 years of support and friendship. So how sweet is that? So at 5:25 Sunday, we hope to see you there. I know Dee Bellavati, my YouTube producer, and I will be there. We'll be interviewing people. If anybody has any type of stories that they want to share about, maybe they met somebody at the Town Tavern. I can tell you, my parents, when they were still alive, they loved the Town Tavern. They loved the clam chowder. I remember introducing Emerald Lagasse to the Town Tavern, and he said it was the best clam chowder he's ever had. And so it's just a lot of fun. When you live in that 25-mile radius around Cinderella's castle, you're going to find that there's so much to do. So let me know where you're watching from. I'm starting to see a lot of people that are starting to come online now. And we look forward to, like I said, answering any questions. I did have a question about some young people asking about, is it the right time to buy? So let me spend a couple of minutes on that while we're waiting for more folks to get online, because I can see one of you that's here that this would be appropriate. So yes, here's what I think. If you're paying rent, you're helping to pay someone else's mortgage. So what it's really important to do is we're finding that in Central Florida in particular, these houses keep appreciating even more. And so what we've got to do is we need to spend time with you or your loved ones. I know sometimes you're watching and you're watching for information because you have a young person in your house that's thinking about buying something and how intimidating it can be. But I can share with you the fairy godmother of real estate is going to help you through it, as well as my team. I have the best team ever. And we have worked, I want to say it's almost 3 decades now that I've been able to cultivate great relationships with wonderful lenders, wonderful home inspectors, wonderful credit repair people, everything you could possibly need, movers, handymen, all of these things that seem a little bit intimidating. And we don't want it to be intimidating. We are here to help you. So one of the things that we wanted to share, let's see if we can get this up there. All right. So what you're seeing here is a couple of things I think that are holding some people back from buying a home, where we will hear things like, I can't afford a big down payment. Well, let me share with you, that doesn't have to be the case. I'm going to put so you can see me a little bit better. We have lenders out there right now that are offering even potentially just 3% down. Sometimes there's even certain types of loans that possibly most of your down payment is taken care of. It's just very important working with the right people to help facilitate how you can get something done. So sometimes people will say, well, I have some money for the down payment, but I don't have money for closing costs. Well, call us. There's my number, 407-808-9845. And I will talk to you about how we can ask a seller to contribute maybe 3%, sometimes even up to 5%. It depends on the loan, where they can help pay down an interest rate for you or pay your closing costs for you. Plus, some have enough money to help pay towards some other things. So don't let not having a big down payment hold you back. Call us. Let me know what's going on so we can help you. Your credit's not great right now. That's okay too. Let's start talking about what you need to do in order to get to the point where your credit score is a little bit better. Credit scores don't have to be really high. They don't have to be. You don't have to have an 800 credit score. 650, something like that. It's let's talk. It's really important for us to talk. We will get you together with some really great lenders that will really help you a lot. I can promise you that. Then one of the things that we hear is, I'm waiting for the perfect time. Well, I will share with you, now is the time, because if you continue to pay rent and you're not anchoring into something, it's better now to go ahead and land something. You don't have to go and figure that this is going to be the home that you live in for the rest of your life. I hear that sometimes. There's a lot of pressure, like, this is my rest of my life home. That rarely happens. I want to say less than 1% of the population stays in the same house for their entire life. So just know that it's just one step for this stage of your life, and we're going to eat that elephant one bite at a time. That's something that I always like to say to my team as well. And then we'll hear it all seems too complicated. We don't want you to go it alone. We have a trusted group, and they are wonderful, and they're very patient, and they love doing this. So the key is just get started. We would put you with the lender to get an idea of what price point would be most comfortable for you to stay within. And then we would, by your email, send you some suggestions as to what options are out there right now. And then when you start seeing the things that you like to see, we'll send this pre-qual letter. That's what we get from the lender, a pre-qual letter, unless you're cash. Some of you out there are very blessed that you're cash buyers. Love to work with cash buyers all day long. But your response might be, is the time right now? And I would say, yes, the time is right now. Inventory is very, very low. And it's been very low for a couple of years. And I don't see it speeding up exponentially in certain parts of Central Florida. Now, some areas might be a little bit more flexible with a little bit too much inventory, and I will share that with you. And that's when maybe you can go in and say, okay, it's a buyer's market. But right now, I would say, let's just strategically help you get to where you need to go. Okay. So if you have any questions, once again, just go ahead and give me a call or text 407-808-9845, and we will help you through that process. Now, Elijah also forwarded something to me. Let's see if we can get this up. It was an article because some people are saying when they first start, really condos or the price point that they can really try to dive into, but they're concerned about some of these extra fees that are going on. So let's talk about that because he had presented something. Let's see. Here we go. All right. There we go. Okay. So this was in the Orlando Business Journal. The Orlando Business Journal. And what it's talking about is that Florida legislature passes bills offering relief for condo association. That is really great news, you guys, because the last year or so, there have been concerns about these reports that are coming in where all of a sudden the owners in the condo groups were being held responsible right away in order to make sure there were enough reserves to do above and beyond what they're even used to having reserves for. So there were these assessments that were coming up on condos that really made it very scary to potentially buy into something, especially if you're already budgeting what your monthly mortgage is going to be and you know what your monthly condo fees are going to be. So now this is saying that there's new laws that are allowing condo associations to take loans for repairs. So that's a good thing because now they can stretch out some of the monies that might be needed. And they have extended the deadline for something called the Structural Integrity Reserve Study, the SIR study. So if anybody's out there looking at condos now, make sure that the condo group that you're talking to has done their Structural Integrity Reserve Study, because what you want to do is make sure that there's no big surprises coming, right? And a big surprise can come if that structural integrity report comes back and there's a lot of work that needs to be done. So let's talk, I can even just say, for example, in Celebration, there are different condo groups. In different condo groups, I can speak very specific about, hey, I think this one feels more like an apartment conversion versus built as a condo. If it's built as a condo, chances are good it probably already has quite a few things in there that's going to, the structural integrity is going to be good. If it's an apartment conversion, you got to look at, are there firewalls in there? Are there some protective measures that are going to be required? Because otherwise there could be some big fees that are coming about. Make sense? Yeah. Yeah, very good. Yes, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Very good. Okay, very good. All right, so we've already talked about, yes, I think it's very important now to be buying. Number two, with regards to what are the things that might be holding some of you back. And then this is something that, excuse me, some things to avoid before when you put a contract, excuse me, when you put a contract on a piece of property, there's some things that you want to avoid buying before closing. And I know a lot of times people think that they know some of these, but you don't want to go out and buy a car between the time that you put a contract on something and then you've bought it, unless you're paying cash. You don't want to go out and buy new furniture between the time that you put a contract and close, because that can alter your credit scores. It could alter the percentages with regard to if the lender is going to say that they feel like you're a safe bet in order to pay your mortgage. So it's basically this little chart that I have here is saying, don't go out and buy anything in between that time. Don't pay off your credit cards either, unless that lender tells you to do so. Okay. So I would just be step hand in hand with the lender, because you may need to show that you can carry a certain amount on some credit cards and you pay it off in a timely fashion. Or They don't want you paying it off and cutting up that credit card, because that credit card is something that's establishing your credit rating. Yeah, just stuff to think about. So that is something that we wanted to talk about. And as far as something fun, I know I mentioned Elijah's birthday is on Sunday, and I know the Celebration Town Tavern, they are having their celebration on Sunday. But guess what else is opening? Guess what else is opening in Central Florida? Yep, I'm starting to see people guess. Hey, how you doing? Hi. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's good to see you guys. Normally, you see me on Monday nights or Friday nights. And so normally my fabulous team is in front of you. So I apologize for you not seeing them tonight, but I wanted to give them the night off because they've all been working very hard and showing property, and it's been hot. And yes. Okay. All right. Hold on one second. We are going to share another screen with you. Here we go. Thank you, Elijah, for sending this to us. So what he is reporting on is 8 things to do for adults at Epic Universe. So this is a fun story. If you haven't watched our YouTube channel, my daughter, actually, Elizabeth, works at Universal. She's part of the creative team, special events team. Absolutely. We're very proud of her. And so she's been a part of this grand opening process with Universal. And my husband, Rod, has worked for Disney for over 33 years. So there's periods of time where they cannot talk about what each other do, what they do. But now Ashley can share some of the stuff that's going on because it is opening, right? So with there's single day tickets that are now for sale, because you guys, it's just opening. Look how beautiful that is. That is the Constellation Carousel in Universal Epic, and it's pretty. Look how beautiful it's going to be when it gets dark and it starts to light up. The Dark Universe is something that they think adults are really going to enjoy. It is all about Universal monsters and lots of fun stuff. I will share with you that Rod and I had the opportunity to be part of the sneak previews, and this was really, it was a lot of fun. I know it looks scary, and I'm a scaredy cat, but it was so well done. I think that you're going to enjoy that. The Celestial Park is what they're referring to with the carousel and the rides. It's just very romantic. It's very beautiful. And they have an Asian themed restaurant called the Blue Dragon Pan Asian Restaurant. And there's a lot of cool Epic Universe bars that are outside, and the views are spectacular. And I will share too, it was really lovely when we went in and dined at Universal Epic, that they had like a QR code, and you would on your phone order the food that you wanted. You didn't have to wait in line, and they brought the food to you. I thought that was pretty innovative. Number 3, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Of course, Harry Potter is huge. I remember my sweet Donna Myris at one point had recommended that Harry Potter be a part of Universal. And there was a little bit of hesitation, and then she was very strong about thinking it was going to be a big hit. And I was so proud of her because she's absolutely right. I remember when it first opened, there were people off of I-4, Interstate 4, trying to get into Universal because it's just so popular. So there is an area for Harry Potter in Epic, and you walk past a Parisian street. It's really beautiful. I remember making the comment about, look how pretty that is. I remember making the comment, boy, wouldn't it be fun if somebody got married on the street? It's really beautiful. And then Super Nintendo World. Super Nintendo World. Who out there likes Super Nintendo? Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing a couple. Very good. Well, you will feel fully immersed when you come into this section of Epic. It is definitely Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong and all those favorites, but it's just beautifully done. Number 5 is How to Train Your Dragon. That is an adult section that people are going to enjoy. They actually have some shows as well. Romantic restaurants is what it's saying that you're going to enjoy there too. The Atlantic is a full-service surf and turf restaurant with a Victorian aquarium. And then the Blue Dragon Pan Asian restaurant is going to offer Chinese, Japanese, and Thai dishes. So it's very high-end, upper scale foods that I think you're going to be nicely surprised by. The Oak and Star Tavern, that's a quick service spot, but they have really great brisket. I remember going there and thinking, gosh, I never remember being that excited about brisket, but they do. But look, you don't normally see this type of food at a theme park, right? But that is the sea bass at the Atlantic and Universal Epic Universe. Look how beautiful that is. The water that's going to be around this restaurant. That's the Atlantic. You can see the signage. Excuse me. Then they have a couple of really cool bars and themed restaurants, of course, and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. They have a cafe, a French cafe. They have bars over there as well. You can see some of the food. That is a crepe, and it's the butterbeer crepe. Talks about the bars and lounges. There is, in the dark universe, there's a bar called the Burning Blade Tavern. We went there, and I don't want to ruin the surprise, but check that out. And there is a tiki hut outside by the Celestial area that I think you don't want to miss. And the Aquaria Bar, which is in the Atlantic restaurant, is going to be very, very popular. This is that outdoor bar that we were talking about. And then the hotel. Now, this hotel, Helios, wow, it's going to be, it already is spectacular as far as an architectural, beautiful centerpiece. They have a rooftop bar there. And the question that I'm trying to find out, it has a 360 bar, which is rooftop. I'm not sure unless you stay there if you're able to go up there. So if anybody's watching and you know the answer to that, would you let me know? Because as of now, I believe you need to be a hotel guest in order to go up there. But correct me, let me know. We'll find out. But it's a Mediterranean inspired, and it's going to be one of the most romantic spots probably in all of Central Florida. Okay, well, that is a great update. Thank you, Elijah, for sending that to us. And I think I've got most everything covered. I'm not seeing any questions yet. I did see a couple people say that you're going to give me a call. Love hearing that. If anybody, like I said, has any questions at any time, we would love to help you. My Realtor Dream Team is here for you as well as I am. All right, guys, I'm not seeing any questions, so have a blessed night. Bye-bye.
Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.